Welcome to day 11 of A Day in Desperation, and today we're going to do some work in Blockbench and then draw some interactable cursors. I did two things today, as you heard in the intro, but I'm actually going to start with Blockbench first, even though technically in the timeline of my day I did my interactable cursors first. And I want to do this because I feel like there's some settings in Blockbench that I have found that you need to do when porting into Unreal Engine 5 that it's really hard for me to find sources for. So for Blockbench, I wanted to kind of mess around with making a chest and see if making these 3D chests versus a 2D pixel art chest would be a more viable option. So I kind of went through and made this chest. It took me a little bit because it's almost like a Minecraft-y style, and it's just not something I'm familiar with, and just 3D in general as I'm not super familiar with. But I made it, and then I used Blockbench to kind of give it a nice little opening lid animation. Got it all done. There's a couple key points when I'm throwing these into Unreal though. One, it needs to be exported from Blockbench as a GTLHF, I think that's what it's called. But that just allows it to have all the animations you're porting in and all the pieces it needs. If you just do it as FBX, which Unreal normally has, it won't do it correctly. When you're importing, there are two settings that are very important. There should be a force all mesh type import setting, and that needs to be a skeletal mesh. The other one is very important, and it's called vertex color import options. This needs to be put as ignore. The issue here is Unreal has a different vertex system than Blockbench. It uses Z as height instead of Z as depth. If you do any other option, it will break your animations. So please click ignore. The other thing is, when you're putting in the textures, you need to make sure your mipmap gen settings is no mipmaps. This will cause weird artifacts. With this, it went in, imported all good, as you can see here. I'll quickly go over the rest of the cursor interactions as we're already over 2 minutes. And I just decided to make a cursor interaction for kind of any other interactables. I did it for trading, leaving the game, when you're talking to a companion or really just anyone else. And so then here are the 3 I made, or 4, and that was this day in desperation.